Hello everyone, in this lesson I will explain what Tracking Pixel is and how you can set it up in the TikTok Ads platform. To start this lesson, I've created a mind map to explain what the pixel really is, and the TikTok Ads pixel is a tracking code that can be added to a website or app to collect data about user activities. Continuing, it allows tracking specific user actions such as page views, button clicks, purchases, and other relevant interactions. The pixel is a tool that most advertising platforms use, whether it's in Google Ads, Facebook Ads, or other platforms. However, the pixel is a tool aimed at tracking interactions and actions that each user takes on a specific page. Based on this data, advertising platforms seek to further optimize their campaigns. Want to see an example? Well, suppose you've created a campaign with the goal of getting signups. You've had about 10 people sign up, and among these 10 people, 9 had very similar behavior and interaction, while 1 person had a unique and exclusive interaction. The first 9 people clicked your link and immediately signed up. The specific person clicked the link the first time but did not complete the data. The second time, they clicked the link again and still did not complete the data. On the third occasion, thanks to remarketing, they finally signed up. The pixel will capture all this data and analyze the 2 user groups. The group with 9 immediate results and the group with only 1 result but took more time. Based on this collected data, the platform will segment ads for the type of audience that typically performs best. In other words, it will further optimize your campaign, reduce your costs, and improve your results. That's the main function of the pixel. It's a tracking tool that records the behavior of each type of user, and based on that data, optimizes your campaign. Another example I could give you about the pixel is if you create 2 campaigns using the same creative. If you don't know what a tracking pixel is, we'll have a specific lesson explaining what it really is. But you've created 2 campaigns with 2 similar creatives but with different audiences. In one of these campaigns, you achieved remarkable results. In the other campaign, the results were not as good. The pixel will analyze these 2 audience groups and further optimize the campaign that is performing well. So, in summary, the pixel is a data tracking tool aimed at optimizing your campaigns. What are the advantages of using the tracking pixel? Well, I've listed here some advantages of using the tracking pixel. One of the main advantages of using a tracking pixel is the ability to create custom audiences based on the data collected by the pixel. How, Matthias? How can I do that in practice if I'm going to advertise a specific product and I don't exactly know which audience to target for my campaign? You can create a campaign with an open audience without initially configuring it. Over time, your campaign will have interactions and the pixel will collect as much data as possible. Based on the data collected by the pixel, you can create a type of audience to target in a new campaign, using as a basis the audience that had the most interactions according to the data captured by the tracking pixel. Another advantage you get from using the tracking pixel, as I mentioned earlier, is the ability to run even more optimized marketing campaigns because based on the data collected by the pixel, advertising platforms optimize campaigns for you to get results and for the platform to continue generating revenue. And the third and final advantage you get from using the tracking pixel is the ability to optimize your campaigns based on the collected data. As I mentioned, these are the advantages you get from using the tracking pixel. And how do you set it up in the TikTok Ads platform? To create tracking pixels in TikTok Ads, you need to log into your advertiser accounts. So, I'm going to select this advertiser account that I created with you in the previous lessons. Inside the Ads Manager, which is the dashboard for our advertiser accounts, you'll go to the Tools tab and then click on the Events option. And this is where you'll actually create your tracking pixel in TikTok Ads. And we have 3 options for pixels that you can create. So you can create an app event pixel, a pixel with events for websites, and we can also create pixels for offline events. I'm going to create a pixel for website events, and I'll click on the Manage button. Since I don't have a pixel in this advertiser account, nothing will appear except this option, Create a Pixel. I'll click on it to create our pixel. We have 2 options for creating your pixel, so you can create a pixel manually or by setting up a partner. I'll show you how to create a pixel by setting up a partner, which is one of the easiest and recommended ways to set up your tracking pixel. especially if you have a dropshipping focused business. It's an even simpler process. Let's say I'm going to create a tracking pixel by setting up a partner. I'll select click on the next button. And here we have several platforms with which you can link your advertiser account, or rather your advertiser account with your pixel within some integration platforms that allow you to create online stores, such as Loja Integrada, Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, and many other platforms that enable e-commerce, whether it's traditional e-commerce or dropshipping focused. Let's say you're working with dropshipping through the Shopify platform. You select the Shopify platform, click on the next button, give your pixel a name, and configure it entirely manually. Then, you link this pixel to your Shopify page, which is a fairly simple process, by simply clicking buttons, and your tracking pixel configured through Partner Setup will be ready. Another way you can also set up the partner pixel is by using tag managers. So if you are using Google Tag Manager on your website, you can insert and configure the API into your page. Then you can do it both via the TikTok pixel and events in the API. You just need to choose which one you want to use. So that's more or less how you can create and configure a pixel using Partner Setup. And now, in fact, I'm going to create a pixel using Manual Setup. I'll click the back button, then I'll select Manual Setup and click the next button. At this stage, you will need to give your pixel a name. It's very important when setting a name for your pixel to specify the type of objective for which you want this pixel. Let's say you're going to add a variety of products on TikTok ads. You want to create a pixel for a specific product type, name the pixel, and assign a number to identify the function of this specific pixel. So I have an affiliate product on the Hotmart platform here. It's a ChatGPT product, and that's the one I'm going to set up with the pixel in this class. So I'll set the name of my pixel as ChatGPT-01. This will be the first variation of my pixel. I can create even more in the future. Throughout the class, I'll show you how you can create other pixels. Then I'll click the next button to continue. We arrive at this page where you will configure events within your pixel. What does this mean, Matthias? What is it for? Basically, with this event setup, you can list the main events you want the TikTok pixel, or rather the tracking pixel, to monitor, to collect this data, and further maximize your campaigns. Don't quite grasp how it works? Let's imagine a practical example. I have this product on Hotmart. I'll take the payment link and launch it with you, okay? I can set up my tracking pixel to alert me every time a payment event is initiated, whether it's with a credit card or PayPal. Another example I could give you is to assume you're running a campaign with the goal of capturing leads. That is, getting signups on your website. In the event list, you can select the Submit Form event. Another event could be Complete Registration. Another event could be Click the Button, and many other events. Why would I select this type of event? Because, for example, if my main goal in this campaign is to get signups, every time someone enters my link and triggers this Complete Registration event on my site, since I've selected this type of event that represents my goal with this pixel, the TikTok Ads pixel will be alerted when this event occurs and will collect data on the type of audience you're attracting so you can further optimize your campaign. So I've done a basic setup here to list events. So every time someone initiates the purchase and payment process, the pixel alerts me. Or if someone places an order, fills out a registration form, or completes a payment, it will also provide me with that data, which in this case is considered conversion goals. The beginning of the purchase in the part of our funnel would be here, and the initial steps would be content view, meaning when the person enters the page and views it. This pixel will automatically activate as soon as someone enters my site. It's very important to properly separate each type of function here in the funnel. Okay, I'll click the next button to continue. At this stage, you can create three types of pixels: a pixel using the Event API, a pixel via custom code, and a pixel via Event Builder. For those who will use a website, these two options already selected, Event API and Custom Code, are both excellent options. So I'll simply select the Event API and then click the next button to continue. At this stage, you can make some additional configurations related to event settings inside your pixel. You can follow some Facebook ads best practices by clicking on Best Practices. This will provide you with some suggestions on what you can do, but you're not necessarily required to configure this part. However, if you want to add some extra tracking to your campaign, such as adding a value to your campaign, this value will be recorded as revenue once you make a sale, as well as the cost of that sale. This will allow you to know your actual profit, i.e., your net profit in TikTok ads metrics. This can be interesting for some people, perhaps, but in my particular case, I'm not going to go through this setup process. Click the next button to continue. Now, let's move on to this page. It's very important to leave the Auto Advanced Matching box enabled. Leaving this option enabled is important to further maximize your tracking pixel and truly embed your pixel on your website. There are two ways to do it. The first way, the more traditional one, is to click the See Instructions button. You will be redirected to this page, and here you will find a code that you can click to copy and paste onto your website, whether it's a Wix page, Elementor, WordPress, and many others. Matthias, I'm advertising an info product, I'm an affiliate, or I create info products and I don't have a website with a clean structure. No problem, you can add the pixel to your payment process. How do you do this in practice? You will need the ID of the pixel you created in TikTok ads, and where can I find this ID? Click the Go to Configuration button. You will be redirected to this page, and at the top, you will find the ID of your pixel. You will copy this ID and add it in the same way you would with the tracking pixel for Facebook ads, Google ads, and many other platforms. I will add it to my product on the Hotmart platform. I will select the configuration for the tracking pixel in the TikTok ads platform, choose the ID of my tracking pixel, and it will be saved. Now, let's perform a test of our pixel to ensure it's really working. How do you do this in practice? Before starting this process, it's very important to download the TikTok Pixel Helper extension in your browser. You just need to search on Google TikTok Pixel Helper extension, and you will find the download link for this tool, or I will also leave the link available in the resources section for you to perform the download process after downloading this extension. Here's the extension, and through it, you can identify if the page has any pixel. I will perform a practical test with you. Here is the payment process. I will refresh this page and the pixel has already been added. If I click on the extension, it already shows me which pixel is installed on the site and the configuration of its events. Matthias, how can I create another pixel in TikTok ads? You will see the tools option again and click on the events button. Then select what the event of your pixel will be. I will select the same event, an event for the website, and we will arrive at a quite different page where no button appears, and it is indicated that you need to create a new pixel. Even the pixel I created with you has not received an event yet because the TikTok tracking pixel takes a little time to update, but it will appear in a few minutes. To create a new pixel, click the Setup Web Events button. Then select the type of configuration you want to perform for creating your pixel and follow the process similarly to the previous process so that you can create and configure your tracking pixel on your website. Once you have this pixel configured, it doesn't mean you can immediately add it to your campaigns. Ideally, you should test this pixel with a test event similar to what I initiated on the payment page, or perform an action that generates an event or interaction on the website to activate my pixel. It's very important to note that at least until the date I'm recording this lesson, the pixel takes a few minutes to appear in your campaigns option because it has a certain delay to activate. It has a certain delay both to display real-time events and for the pixel to appear as active, even if you've performed a few events on it. It's very likely to appear as a pixel that hasn't had recent activity yet. So be very mindful of this. So my pixel here, for example, even though it received a payment initiation event and shows an active event here, still appears as having no recent activity. Let's refresh this page to see if the pixel is active now. It still doesn't appear as an active pixel, but we'll wait a few minutes to show you where you can add the tracking pixel in the process of creating your campaigns. After a few minutes, my pixel is now active, and with the pixel active, I can now add it to my campaigns on TikTok ads. So I will simulate here the creation of a new campaign by clicking on Campaign. We will enter this page and I will click the Create button to create a campaign from scratch. I won't create the entire campaign, but I will show you how far you can add your pixel. So in the campaign, you will define what your goal is. For some objectives, you can't add a tracking pixel, but for others, you can. I configured my tracking pixel with the conversion goal, So my goal is sales. I will select the objective of this campaign as conversions on the website. I will click the continue button to proceed and allow you to add your tracking pixel. Do you see the TikTok pixel option here? You need to click on this option and select your pixel, the one you configured with events. So I will select this pixel here. In the optimization event section, you will choose which event you want as the primary goal for your campaign. Where are the other events that I could add in the pixel creation process, you might ask? Well, they won't appear here until they are active. Can I send a test event for the start of payment since it's here at the beginning of the payment, for example? Can I initiate a payment? In theory, yes, you can. However, when you manually perform this event testing process, it won't have the same effect as a real sale. As soon as you manage to make a real sale, you will create a new campaign with the goal of sales. As you make sales, the TikTok ads pixel will identify and segment the target audience that performs this type of conversion that you have selected the most. For example, if you create a campaign with the start of payment event, there may be many people who initiate the payment, but very few actual sales. If you stick with the start of payment, TikTok will only show your campaign, or rather segment it to the audience accustomed to clicking on the start of payment. But when you enable the sales option, your goal will be a real conversion, whether it's a sale, a sign up, or any other event. TikTok ads will identify which audience performs this type of event the most and segment your campaigns for that specific audience, further optimizing your campaigns. So, the tracking pixel is essentially that. It's a widely used data tracking tool on advertising platforms, whether it's TikTok ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, and many other platforms. The main goal of this tool is to collect data to further optimize your campaigns, maximize results, and reduce costs. And that's how, quite simply, you can create and configure a pixel here on TikTok.